Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. Welcome back to a DraftKings single game showdown video here for week 4. The Los Angeles Chargers against the Las Vegas Raiders. This game has a really high total. A lot of offense expected, a 51.5 expected total. The Chargers with a team total of 27.5, favored by 3 points. And the Raiders have 24.5. You can subtract 3 from 27. It's like, you understand how it goes. Basically, a lot of offense expected here, and we know kind of where the offense is going to go, but we have some places that we can look for, specifically in single game showdown for big plays, guys that are on the field a ton and might be able to spike a touchdown here. So we're going to take a look at all of it. Basically, also take a look through the Fantasy Labs Optimizer and see how you should be building lineups and correlating them for a single game showdown to give you the best chance at coming in near the top of the field, and hopefully you're not kind of holding hands with 500 people when you do it. So thank you guys for watching just another video. 7 days a week I come out with all these, and I appreciate you guys coming back and dropping likes and subscribes and all that stuff. So once again, like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell, and leave me a reply down below. Let me know how you're doing this weekend. And if you're looking for the recap video for how I did in week 4, that will be on the second channel, Al Smizzle Games. Go search on YouTube or just go to my channel. There's a link for it right there. Al Smizzle Games on YouTube, and that's where the recap video goes. So let's get to Monday night.
He's a legend.
As I was saying in the intro, here's the Vegas tab over on fantasylabs.com, and you can see like everything is just kind of straightforward with how it goes. This is what we said. It hasn't really changed all that much since it opened. The total's down 1 point. Chargers opened at 3. They're still at 3. 27.5 is their total. Very healthy total. And 24.25. Sorry, not and a half. And a quarter for the Raiders. This is a really high scoring, competitive, expected outcome in this game. So let's kind of get to what we're looking at here. So the 4th highest total on the entire weekend, if we're looking at all the different games. So looking at the Raiders first, let's kind of take a look at them. Derek Carr has been outstanding so far this year. And the thing that stands out most, 2 touchdowns in every game for me, but the thing that stands out most in the way that Derek Carr is being deployed this year, and this offense is being deployed this year, is that he's throwing the ball downfield a whole lot more this year than in previous years. So they've opened it up a little bit, and they've allowed guys like Ruggs to get downfield and Edwards to get downfield. Still patrolling underneath is RENFROW and Waller, but it kind of doesn't match up, you know, with what the Chargers allow. The Chargers have allowed the 10 most DraftKings points to opposing running backs. So if we kind of take a look at the Raiders, obviously Josh Jacobs is their lead guy. He's questionable for Monday night. We don't know if he's going to be participating in Saturday's practice. Monitor the inactives 90 minutes before game time. He's kind of expected to be out, but they're going to put him through a whole pregame ritual and see if he can go. If he goes, he's the guy. If he does not go, that leaves us with Peyton BARBER, who is essentially the main guy right now in the absence of Josh Jacobs. He's basically taken over that exact Josh Jacobs role. And as I mentioned, the Chargers the 10th most running back points against through the first 3 weeks, not counting what happened on the Sunday main slate for week 4. So Peyton BARBER expected to get the over 20 touches in this spot, assuming that they don't get scripted out. And then that leaves Kenyan Drake as just an expensive James White, right? Like he's out there going to run it less than 10 times. They're going to throw it to him 5 or 6 times. It is single game showdown, right? So if you think that he's going to catch like a random touchdown for, you know, off a reception, or maybe he'll be in on a 1-yard plunge because BARBER was tired and asked out of the game or whatever it is, that puts Kenyan Drake in a position to get a touchdown, and he's way cheaper. I don't really play for injury. I don't try to predict who's going to get injured in a single game showdown. As I mentioned, the Chargers have also apologies. The Chargers have also allowed the 6th most points to opposing tight ends. Now, tight end DVP, defense versus position, is the one that can get really, really noisy. And what I mean when I say that, everybody has a quarterback. Everybody runs the ball with their running backs. Everybody throws the ball to wide receivers. Not every team throws the ball a whole lot to the tight end. So if you've played 3 teams, no matter what point in the week, point in the season, if it's week 8 and you just haven't played any of the teams that really focus on throwing the ball to their tight ends, the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Lions with Hawkinson, the Baltimore Ravens, if you've avoided all those teams, you're going to have a pretty good DVP when it comes to the tight ends, because you're probably allowing like 3-4 targets to the position. But like, that doesn't mean you're good against it. It just means you haven't played anybody. And conversely, teams that have played a bunch of those teams that really focus on funneling targets and catches and yards to their talented tight ends, those are, wow, that team's really bad. Baltimore comes to mind. Look at who Baltimore's played at tight end. They played like Kelsey, they played Hawkinson, they played Waller. Of course, their defense versus tight ends looks really bad. They've played the best tight ends in the league. So you can feel free to take that with a grain of salt if you want. It's just one of those things that is what it is. However, in this situation, the Chargers have done one thing really well defensively. They have not allowed a lot of 20-plus yard completions against, the third fewest in the league. And that means that guys like Waller and possibly Hunter Renfrow is having his best season so far, getting a steady, heavy dose of targets with low ADOT. And on DraftKings, if you've got full PPR with bonuses the past 3 years, a player with Hunter Renfrow's ADOT has an expectation of scoring 1.66 points per target. We employed this weekend with Deontay Johnson on the Steelers. We talked about this a ton on the Friday stream on Twitch. Talked about this a lot in Discord. If you're not watching the live streams, I understand if you're at work and you can't. But like, if you're just like, well, I don't go to Twitch, like you're making a mistake. If you're not in the Discord, especially if you're a channel member here on YouTube, you're making a mistake. Like, get in the Discord. That's where a lot of the discussion happens, where I pop in from time to time and just kind of talk about my thoughts. And I felt that Deontay Johnson was somebody who was very under projected this weekend based on how many targets he should get before the Chase Claypool injury. And certainly after, he still stayed somebody who was going to be under, or was being under projected on pretty much every site. Hunter Renfrow fits right into that. And based on what the Chargers do, they let you catch it and they keep you in front, right? They're not going to let you get deep. So it might be a weird spot on this game for somebody like Henry Ruggs, who basically his whole deal is, I'm going to get behind you and make really athletic, fun catches. That doesn't mean it can't happen. It just makes him somebody that I probably want to have less than the field on, although he can just make me look like a fool on one play if he catches one long touchdown. It's just something that the Chargers don't really allow, so I'd probably be focusing on those lower ADOT guys. And I'll still have a sprinkle of Ruggs because it is what it is. So if I'm going to have Derek Carr as my quarterback, where, as always, guys, whether you're hand building or using the lineup builder, we're going to pair him with all the pass catchers. I'm not going to use the running backs in that group, though I'm not going to just, not going to X them out that they can't be in that. Edwards fits into that group. He's been good so far this year, but getting not as much love in terms of the target market share as the first three guys on that list. If you want to go with the island of Foster Moreau and use him in that group, because he does kind of fall into the painted area every once in a while. Alec Ingold is questionable. He has been the Raiders guy on all showdown slates that have been island games. Don't ask me why. He frustrates the hell out of us. Every time they have an island game, he seems to find himself a touchdown. I don't know why. I don't like it. It just seems to be the thing that happens. Zay Jones at 1,800, again, kind of a one-off play if you're looking for a cheap option but don't expect much out of him in the flex. That's the first thing that we're going to build. The second thing that we're going to do, if we have Derek Carr as our captain, is we're going to build a group with basically every single Chargers offensive option. I will include the kicker with the quarterback, but not the opposing quarterback, because the kicker is somewhat correlated. Now let's talk about the Chargers really quickly. Justin Herbert's been exceptional so far. He was underperforming in terms of his touchdown expectancy. He was not being inefficient. He was not throwing for very few yards. He was not completing a lot of his passes. They just weren't going for touchdowns. That was something that was going to bounce. It definitely bounced for him against Kansas City. He has another good opportunity here, especially with a really high team total against the Raiders. So Mike Williams having a fantastic season, albeit he is number 2 on this team in terms of targets. With 31 targets through the first 3 weeks, we would include him in a Herbert captain group. Keenan Allen is the number 1 target getter for this team, an absolute target monster forever, right? The last 3-4 seasons. You know what you're getting with Keenan Allen. They're going to be low ADOT routes. He can get deep, but it's not really what he does on this team. They reserve those for like Williams. They also reserved him for Guyton, who we're going to get to in just a second. So Keenan Allen also going to be in that group. I'm going to include Austin Eckler in that group because instead of the anomaly that happened in week 1 against Washington, this is a guy who gets a ton of the targets, top 4 on the team in targets, along with Cook. The thing about Eckler is he's playing like 75% of the snaps this season and getting the inside the 5 carries. Absolutely love him. Jared Cook also getting a good amount of run, playing like 70% of the snaps at tight end. Yes, Parham is solid and a really good kind of red zone player, a one-off touchdown guy. Same with Roundtree. But Parham's just not running the routes and not getting the left. Like if he gets a catch, he's probably going to be in the red zone and around the end zone. So if you're playing for a cheap $1,800 dart throw, that's fine. The other guy that I think is the dart throw is Jalen Guyton. On Showdown, it just takes one play, guys. And Guyton has been on the field for like 70% of the snaps, and all he's doing is running wind sprints. Right? He's just sprinting down the sideline. 9? Okay. What route do you want me to run right now, Justin? Oh, another 9. Okay, I got it. I'll just run down the line as fast as I can and occupy that space so you can throw it to all these other 4 dudes. Like we said, with a player like him, it only takes 1. And if he can find his way behind that Las Vegas defense, we will be including him in that Herbert group. I'm probably not going to have a massive amount of him, but again, if he catches a 60-yard touchdown, he's going to be that guy that you're going to have on your team to win the showdown. So he'd be somebody that I would probably include in along with Roundtree, along with any of the lower priced guys, right? The guys that are not priced, sorry. The lower percentage guys, players that are going to be like 25% and down, 30% and down projected wise. I want to have at least one of those in every single lineup, and we'll make a group with those guys as we go to the lineup builder. So let's go take a look at the lineup builder. I allow 90% of the salary cap. You can save these templates to do what you want it to do. I do not allow a kicker or a defense at captain. That's just the way that I play it. You can change it if you want. But here's those rules that we talked about. Pair your captain quarterback with at least 2, wide receiver, tight end, and kicker. Pair the captain quarterback with at least 1 of the players on the other team. All offensive positions, not kicker. Pair your captain wide receiver. If you're going to have any one of those wide receivers or wide receivers or tight ends that we talked about at captain, you want to pair them with their quarterback. Tight end with exactly 1 quarterback from the same team, and limit to at most 1 defense and kicker from the same game. You'd go over here to play group. You'd add a group of at least 1, and I'd have a list of 4 or 5 players that are going to be underplayed on that slate. Apply your settings, save it if you want. I run by ceiling because I'm not worried about getting a floor or a median. And then I let the lineup builder build the things for me. I will tweak this. I don't just do 1 run. It takes me like a half hour to an hour to make the lineups that I want and get the allocations that I want for each player. So it does take some tweaking. It's not as simple as just go to the site, hit submit, and then print money. You do have to put in some work with the lineup builder to get it to dance the way that you want to, but I wish you the best of luck this Monday night. Go check out the second channel if you want the recap video every single week, and we'll see you for week 5. Bye.
He's a legend.